Today, Energy Live News is at ITM Power's Hydrogen Rally. This refueling station behind me fills the car in only 3 minutes and gives it a range of 320 miles. It fills the tank with 50 litres of hydrogen. That's equivalent to 50 of these bottles. And water is all a hydrogen car emits. So it seems super green. But the problem is how the hydrogen is produced, as often it's a byproduct of the fossil fuel industry. But ITM have a green solution to this too. All the gas to fill these cars is produced on site, using renewable energy. TV actor and green car enthusiast Robert Llewellyn says this is what makes the most sense.
This technology means that the fuel is coming from sources that we can see and we can control. It's not coming from burning fossil fuels, which is a brilliant step forward. So I think in a sense, this is more important than that. That's impressive. That is amazing. That's revolutionary. The way that you produce the fuel on the site, no transportation. It's there ready to use when people want it. So yeah, it's very interesting stuff.
So the fuel is green, but what's it like to drive? The ride is smooth and it doesn't feel noticeably heavier, even though it's packed with state-of-the-art hydrogen technology and fuel cells. But how safe are those fuel cells? In the event of a crash, could they explode?
The systems ensure that the tank is completely sealed, that the whole system operates in a sealed environment and a controlled environment. Hydrogen's not toxic, so it won't poison you, unlike petrol or diesel. In terms of flammability, yes, it will burn, but it burns very quickly and disperses immediately. So if we stood here today with a petrol tank on fire, we'd have to quickly evacuate because of the radiant heat. If you had a gas fire, so a hydrogen gas fire, then the heat would completely disperse almost immediately and we'd be able to stand here and have a conversation. So I think that really there isn't the concerns that some people do have in reality.
The car uses electricity at low speeds, with the hydrogen fuel cell providing the real power when you get out of traffic. Even waste energy from braking is channeled back into the car to be used again. But how much of a difference does this all make? Who better to ask than a cabbie?
So far I've done 20,000 miles in the car and I'm doing on average about 130 miles a day, which shows how efficient the cars are because once it's filled up we get up to 300 miles, so I can use the car for 2 days, 2.5 days before I need to refill it up.
ITM currently has 3 hydrogen filling stations. If hydrogen vehicles are to really take off, this network will need to expand to give people the mobility they're used to with petrol cars.
Today we have 15 refueling stations in the UK. We're building another 8 in and around London, and we'll need somewhere around 50 funded by the government to complete that UK H2 mobility project. And that requirement for an additional 50 by 2020 has recently been reconfirmed by the Office of Low Emission Vehicles. So I think there's a good plan in place to roll out hydrogen infrastructure in the UK.
That rollout is all that's needed to get more hydrogen cars on the road. As someone who enjoyed driving a hydrogen car around today, I hope that comes sooner rather than later. Jonny Bairstow, Energy Live News, Essex.